To the enemy faith promised is not kept. The condemned held, the leader put to death, and the others half naked. The rest damned for being supported. The galley, veiled, hidden by the ship's sail. The great fleet, the lesser one to emerge. 10 ships near, driving them back. The great vanquished, uniting together. After 5 does not put out his flock. A fugitive for Penelon frees, to murmur falsely. Then help arrives. The chief abandons the siege. At midnight, the leader of the army saves himself, suddenly vanishing. His fame not blemished after 7 years. At his return, he never says yes. Albi and Cast make a new league. 9 Arians, Lisbon and the Portuguese, Carcassonne, Toulouse, and their intrigue. Then the new chief monster of l'Orag.
Hello and welcome back, Truth Seekers, to another episode of Conspiracy Chronicles, Unveiling the Truth. I'm your host, Gorkem Yuksel, and today we're diving deep into the enigmatic world of Nostradamus, the man who predicted the future, or was he just a master of cryptic language? Join us as we unravel the mysteries, decode the prophecies, and separate fact from fiction. Are his quatrains a window to the future, or merely poetic musings? Did Nostradamus predict the Great Fire of London, the French Revolution, or the rise of Napoleon or Adolf Hitler? What about both world wars and the nuclear destruction of Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Well, let's embark on this journey together and unveil the truth about Nostradamus. In this episode, we will shed light on the early life of Nostradamus, his prophecies that deemed to have come true, and what his prophecies have in store for us in 2024, the year of the dragon. But before we begin, I'd like to ask that if you enjoy listening to our podcast, please hit that follow button and give us a 5-star rating. Also, I'd like to announce that I will be starting to compile my podcasts in video format and will be made available to my Patreon members. But don't worry, the audio-only format will still be made available to everyone. The link to the Patreon page is in the description of the podcast. Michel de Nostradamus, or more commonly known as Nostradamus, was a French astrologer, physician, and reputed seer who lived in the 16th century. His life and work are shrouded in mystery and have given rise to countless legends and interpretations. The early life of Nostradamus was marked by a series of significant events that contributed to his education and the development of his later career as an astrologer and physician. Nostradamus, whose full name was Michel de Nostradamus, was born on December 14, 1503, in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, a town in the south of France. His family was of Jewish descent, and they had recently converted to Catholicism. His paternal grandfather, Guy Gassenet, had faced persecution due to his Jewish heritage, and Nostradamus' father, Jaume de Nostradamus, continued to face discrimination during his lifetime. This family background may have influenced Nostradamus' later religious affiliations and choices. Nostradamus received an excellent humanist education, which was rare for his time. He studied Latin, Greek, and Hebrew, along with other various subjects such as mathematics, astrology, and astronomy. His educational background allowed him to delve into classical literature and ancient knowledge, which later influenced his work as an astrologer and prophet. Nostradamus attended the University of Avignon, where he studied for a time but had to leave due to an outbreak of the bubonic plague in the region. He continued his medical studies at the University of Montpellier, a renowned institution for medicine and sciences at the time. He completed his medical degree at Montpellier and went on to practice medicine. Nostradamus' medical career was significant, particularly during outbreaks of the plague in the region. He gained a reputation as an effective physician who could successfully treat patients during these deadly epidemics. His work during these times earned him respect and recognition in the medical community. Nostradamus' life was marked by several periods of travel and exile due to religious and political turmoil. He traveled to various European cities, including Italy and Spain, to continue his medical practice and research. He also faced accusations of heresy at times because of his interest in astrology, which was controversial during the Renaissance. During his travels, Nostradamus began to develop an interest in astrology and the occult. He started practicing and studying this field more extensively, which eventually led to the publication of his famous work, Les Prophéties. Nostradamus passed away on July 2, 1566, in Salon de Provence. His work continued to be studied and interpreted by scholars, researchers, and enthusiasts for centuries to come. Many claim that his prophecies have accurately foretold various historical events, although much of this is subjective and open to interpretation. Nostradamus' writings have remained a subject of fascination and intrigue, and they have inspired numerous books, documentaries, and even modern interpretations of his predictions. His work has been revisited and reinterpreted in many different ways. The life of Nostradamus reflects his diverse education, medical expertise, and exposure to different cultures and regions. These experiences, along with his interest in astrology and the occult, laid the foundation for his later career as a seer and the author of his renowned quatrains in Les Prophéties. His upbringing, education, and early medical career played a crucial role in shaping the man who would become one of history's most famous and controversial figures in the realm of prophecy. In the 1550s, Nostradamus began to gain fame for his work as an astrologer and prophet. He published a collection of 942 quatrains in 1555, known as Les Prophéties, or the Prophecies. These quatrains contained cryptic verses, often written in highly metaphorical and symbolic language. Many believed that he had the ability to predict future events, including wars, natural disasters, and political developments. Nostradamus' most famous work was divided into 10 volumes called centuries. Each century contained 100 quatrains. These verses covered a wide range of topics, and the vague and allegorical language allowed for a variety of interpretations. Nostradamus' prophecies gained widespread attention and led to both admiration and criticism. Some believed in his predictions, while others dismissed them as mere poetic musings with no real predictive power. Nostradamus composed his quatrains, which are the 4-line verses containing his prophecies, using a combination of astrological knowledge, historical events, and personal insights, while the precise method he used remains a subject of debate and mystery. Nostradamus was a trained astrologer, and he heavily relied on astrological principles in his work. He believed that celestial movements and positions of celestial bodies held significance for understanding and predicting future events. He incorporated astrological symbolism and interpretations into his quatrains. Nostradamus often drew inspiration from historical events, particularly those he had lived through or were significant in his time. He observed political, social, and cultural developments and used them as a basis for his prophecies. He believed that history had a cyclical nature, and patterns could be recognized and repeated. Nostradamus employed a highly symbolic and metaphorical style in his quatrains. This allowed him to write in a cryptic manner, which made his predictions open to a wide range of interpretations. The use of symbolism and metaphor meant that the quatrains were often not directly understandable until after the events they supposedly predicted had occurred. Nostradamus claimed to possess supernatural gifts, such as clairvoyance and prophetic visions. He believed that he received insights and revelations about the future through his dreams and altered states of consciousness. These mystical experiences contributed to the content of his quatrains. Nostradamus deliberately wrote his quatrains in a vague and obscure manner, using archaic language and historical references. This complexity made it challenging for readers to interpret his work definitively, and it allowed for a variety of interpretations over the centuries. Nostradamus also incorporated numerology into his work. He assigned numerical values to letters and words, and these numerical codes were believed to hold hidden meaning within his quatrains. During his lifetime, Nostradamus was aware of the potential consequences of his work and the controversy it could stir. To avoid persecution, he often encoded his prophecies in a manner that would not overtly challenge religious or political authorities of his time. Let's delve into some of the quatrains and prophecies that are claimed to have come true over the years. The first one on the list is the Great Fire of London. Nostradamus' quatrain in Century 2, verse 51, outlines, as some would say, the Great Fire of London. Let's take a listen.
The blood of the just makes mistake at London. In 23, the sixes burnt by lightning fire. The ancient dame falls from her high place. Many of the same sect killed.
23's the 6 is interpreted as 20 times 3 plus 6, which equals 66, linking it to the year 1666, and the mention of the city of London and references to deaths definitely adds a level of credibility in the eyes of believers. Next, we have the French Revolution. Some have suggested that Nostradamus' quatrains contain veiled references to the French Revolution, with phrases like songs, chants, and demands will come from the enslaved, being associated with the events of the late 18th century. Let's take a listen.
Songs, tunes, requests, enslaved people, kept prisoner by princes and lords. This future by headless idiots, by divine prayers admitted.
Next, we have Napoleon. Certain interpretations claim that Nostradamus' quatrains referenced Napoleon Bonaparte, particularly his rise to power and military campaigns. Phrases such as "the great man falls" are attributed to Napoleon.
Born near Italy, an emperor costs his empire dear. The people rallied round him, saying, "Less a prince than a butcher."
Then we have World War II. Some quatrains are said to predict events related to World War II, such as the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime. These interpretations are often seen as retroactive and open to debate. Let's take a listen to Century 2, Quatrain 24.
Beasts ferocious with hunger, swimming across rivers. The greater part of the battle is against Hyster, the Great One dragged in a cage of iron. When the Germanic child observes nothing.
And now, Century 3, Quatrain 35.
A poor people, a young child born in depths of Western Europe, his tongue seducing great troops, his reign increasing in the Eastern Kingdom.
Next, we have the atomic bomb, a quatrain mentioning a great thunderbolt has been linked to the development of the atomic bombs during World War II, particularly the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Lightning. Daytime, thunderbolt. The great man struck. This evil foretold by popular rumor. The next foretelling falls amidst the night. Conflict in Reims, plague in London and Tuscany.
And then we have the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Certain interpretations suggest that Nostradamus' quatrains allude to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Next, we have the 9/11 attacks. Some believe that Nostradamus predicted the September 11 terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center in New York City. Let's listen to the famous quatrain, Century 1, Quatrain 87.
Earth shaking fire from the center of the earth makes tremble the tower of the new city. Two great rocks making war a long time. Arethusa coloring a new river red.
And the last one we have is the election of Donald Trump. Some quatrains are believed to have predicted the election of Donald Trump as the 45th President of the United States of America. The one in question here is Century 3, Quatrain 81.
The great, shameless, audacious baller elected governor of the army. The boldness of his contention. The bridge broken, city fainting in fear.
Coming up, we're going to discuss the predictions Nostradamus is believed to have made about 2024. So stay tuned. Nostradamus' quatrains are highly cryptic and open to various interpretations, which has led to many claims of predictions for different years, including 2024. However, it's important to emphasize that these interpretations are often speculative and subjective, and no concrete evidence supports the notion that Nostradamus made specific predictions for any particular year. Claims about predictions for 2024 or any other future year should be viewed with skepticism. Nostradamus is believed to have made the following predictions for the year 2024, and it sounds like it's going to be nothing but a sheer development of tragedy and suffering. On the top of the list, we have the re-election of Donald Trump as President of the United States of America. With his renewed reign of power, Nostradamus is set to prophesize a turbulent future for the country, filled with scandals, controversies, and accusations of corruption which divide the nation. Of course, some of these have already surfaced, and the anti-Trump movement has jumped on the bandwagon. However, the quatrain interpretation also suggests that his supporters will turn against him as well. The alleged quatrain goes as such. In the shadowy guise reborn, chaos stirs, a world forlorn. Division, strife, in tumultuous dance, only the valiant may seize a chance. Another prediction deemed to be for 2024 suggests that Bitcoin, or cryptocurrencies, will have a huge rebound as the trust in traditional currency notes wanes. But as individuals seek financial freedom, governments clash trying to regulate the growing cryptocurrency market. Allegations in the quatrain also suggest that the traditional gold and silver supplies will no longer have the worth of today. Next, we have a scary one. Some theorists believe that Nostradamus' quatrains prophesize that China will become the new superpower of the world, and in essence, rule the world. Interpretation suggests that China's economy will continue to grow and overtake that of the United States. China has become the world's second largest economy and plays a significant role in the global economic market. It is a major trading partner for many countries and is a key driver of global economic growth. Some projections suggest that China may eventually surpass the United States as the world's largest economy, but this is not guaranteed and depends on various factors, including economic policies, technological advancements, and global geopolitical dynamics. China has also been increasing its military capabilities and asserting its influence in the Asia-Pacific region and beyond. While it's not clear whether China will become the world's sole superpower in the near future, it is certainly a major geopolitical player and a competitor to the United States in terms of global influence. Also in 2024, Nostradamus predicts that AI will take over the world in an uprising and rebellion, creating chaos around the world. It seems a little far-fetched, seeing that our current AI technology is often referred to as narrow AI or weak AI. These systems are designed for specific tasks and do not possess general intelligence or consciousness. They can perform tasks like data analysis, image recognition, or natural language processing, but lack the self-awareness or independent decision-making. The scenario of AI taking over the world usually involves the concept of super-intelligent AI, or artificial general intelligence, also known as AGI, that possesses human-like intelligence and capabilities. The development of AGI is a topic of concern for some experts who worry about the potential consequences if AGI were to exceed human intelligence. Speaking on intelligence, what about an alien invasion in 2024? Well, this is just another suggested prediction that believers are noting to Nostradamus' quatrains. Proponents suggest that the quatrains predict a global catastrophe and an extraterrestrial arrival during the same period. Are they linked? Who knows for sure. However, we have seen a lot more talk and information regarding UAPs and potential extraterrestrial visitors to Earth. Could this be the catalyst to fully come forth to let us know about these visitors? Will the visitors officially make themselves known to all of humanity in 2024? It's all speculative, of course, but as someone who truly believes in the existence of life outside of Earth, it is totally plausible. Another Nostradamus quatrain points towards a speculative prediction that we will have artificial organs in 2024. The quatrain, as interpreted, notes that the discovery of some new material or even 3D printed organs that are compatible with the human body will lead the way to saving lives with these transplantable organs. Interestingly, 3D printing technology is being explored as a promising avenue for creating transplantable organs, a field known as bioprinting. While fully functional and complex human organs for transplantation are still under development, significant progress has been made. Simple and avascular tissues such as skin, cartilage, and small sections of blood vessels have been successfully bioprinted and used for transplantation or for testing drug efficacy. These are relatively easier to create because they don't require complex networks of blood vessels. The last one we must share with you today is the quatrain that suggests a new pandemic called the Great Sleep. It's noted that a mysterious virus outbreak around the world causes an uncontrollable, pervasive, and debilitating condition where individuals face relentless lethargy and renders them incapacitated for extended periods of time. Society, jobs, and schools will once again shut down, and the world becomes an eerie mix of dreams and reality, where individuals can no longer distinguish between the two. Now, the lack of precise, concrete details in Nostradamus' quatrains makes it difficult to establish direct connections to specific events or years. As a result, the alleged predictions are often made after the fact, and enthusiasts and interpreters of his work tend to fit quatrains to the events that have already occurred. It's essential to approach any claims about Nostradamus' predictions for a specific year with caution, and to recognize that his quatrains are written in a manner that invites a wide range of interpretations. Assertions of his foresight into specific future events are highly controversial and remain a topic of debate among scholars and historians. It's easy to go down this rabbit hole and discuss Nostradamus and his quatrains for hours. In this episode, we hit just the tip of the iceberg to give you a glimpse inside. In conclusion, we've delved into the enigmatic world of Nostradamus and his prophecies. While his quatrains remain a subject of fascination and debate, it's important to approach them with a healthy dose of skepticism. Nostradamus' predictions are often vague and open to multiple interpretations, and claims of their accuracy are frequently made in hindsight. The idea of a single individual having the power to predict specific future events remains a topic of controversy and discussion. We explored some of the conspiracy theories and claims surrounding Nostradamus, including his alleged connection to historical figures and events. It's important to remember that Nostradamus lived in a time of political and social upheaval, and his quatrains reflect the concerns and uncertainties of his era. Ultimately, whether you believe in the prophetic nature of Nostradamus' work or not, his quatrains continue to captivate our imaginations and inspire us to explore the mysteries of the past, present, and future. As we navigate the complexities of our world, the allure of Nostradamus' cryptic verses endures, inviting us to question, interpret, and seek our own truths. I want to thank you for joining us on this journey through Conspiracy Chronicles, Unveiling the Truth. I'm your host, Gorkem Yuksel. Join us next week for another tantalizing episode, but until then, stay curious, stay informed, and most of all, stay connected.